Believe it or not, after the American Revolution, America ended up going to war against a bunch of pirates off the north coast of Africa. The conflict was known as the First Barbary War. As you probably know, it was Ben Franklin who helped convince the French to help America win the American Revolution. And after the revolution ended, the French made a pact with the United States in which the French Navy promised to protect all American ships for the next 6 years as they traveled to and from Europe. It was when this pact ended that the U.S. ran into trouble. Having relied on France for the last 6 years, the U.S. had not spent any time or money investing in its navy, and pirates took advantage. These pirates resided in Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli. All except Morocco owed some allegiance to the Ottoman Empire. The U.S. was first attacked in 1784. Much like today's pirates, the Barbary pirates would capture Americans and Europeans and then seek ransoms from the countries. Unlike today's pirates, anyone the pirates captured that wasn't worth ransoming would be sold into slavery. As Muslim nations, the pirates could only force non-Muslims into slavery, which is why these pirates tended to seek out Christians. You're probably familiar with the American slave trade. About 12.5 million Africans were sent to the New World. About 10 million were imported to the Caribbean and South America. Just over 1 million never survived the journey. The United States imported about 400,000 African slaves during the 17th to the 19th centuries. However, you probably aren't familiar with the reverse African slave trade. The Barbary pirates raided European vessels and towns as far north as Ireland and captured and enslaved an estimated 1 to 1.25 million people. That's more slaves than the U.S. imported from Africa. After multiple American ships and crews were captured and enslaved or ransomed, the U.S. decided they needed to find a way to stop these attacks. Jefferson spent a lot of time as Secretary of State dealing with these pirates. By the time he was elected president, he was paying the pirates anywhere from 10 to 20% of the entire federal budget as a tribute to keep them from attacking Americans. Finally, in 1801, Jefferson had 6 massive ships built and sent a fleet to take on the pirates. Sweden was already at war with the pirates, so they even teamed up with the United States. King Ferdinand of Naples in southern Italy was even at war with Napoleon at the time, but he still even gave supplies to the U.S. to help the cause. The U.S. Navy and Marines were instrumental in helping the United States take on the pirates and in the paying of tribute for a time. But the U.S. was forced to pull back. After, in 1807, conflicts began erupting that would ultimately lead to the War of 1812. But the Second Barbary War would begin in 1815, and the United States, Great Britain, and the Netherlands would put aside their differences to bring an end to these terrible pirates and their slave trade.